Vaush has never talked to one of these people IRL at shows. Dude, I have, which is why I know that this right. Okay, you are a urbanite. This is the classic Ruroid urbanite divide. This is every urban socialist is like, no, West Virginia, poverty-stricken West Virginian Trump voters are just two conversations away from renouncing their position and joining the communists. And people who actually live amongst these people are like, holy shit, tie me to a rocket and fire me at me, okay? Wipe us all out, please God. I hope the vaccination rates drop low enough that the measles sweep across my neighborhood like a plague and wipe us all out, okay? We've done this a million times. There is a deep sickness in honestly rural environments all over the world, because this like chip on their shoulder is pretty common all around the place. But America is, I think we have like a uniquely bad variant of this. Yeah, I'm looking at YouTube chat right now. Yep, here in Texas, and Vaush is right. I live with these people. Vaush is completely right. I live in an area like this. Vaush is correct. Yeah, like again, like don't. I understand that I'm an urbanite here, but like I'm deferring to a common opinion here. Don't engage in like a noble savage perspective on these people. They earn the contempt. You're not wrong. They're sick. It's the contempt and lack of critical analysis they're scoring. No, it is critical analysis. You have to understand. Like again, there's nothing about this situation that demands analysis beyond like, or I guess I should say this. I'll put it this way, okay? By ignoring the fact that they're stupid and racist, you're ignoring the material element here. I reject like the magical thinking that because these people are poor and suffering, they must be noble. I think actually, if anything, it's often the opposite. The socialist natural allies are the educated, the middle class, people who have access to the opportunity to to learn more about the world. In basically every era since the Industrial Revolution, the peasant has been the enemy of social progress, like consistently, country to country, time and time again. Marx knew this. Lenin knew this. Everyone knows this. But for some reason, we pretend otherwise. We act as though like, well, no. In reality, their poverty gives them like an up close, experience with the things that you would believe would radicalize them. It doesn't. Poor people all around the country find anything and everything but capitalism. And even if they blame wealthy people, even if they blame coastal elites, they don't envision a better system. They envision a system where they're on top. Without education, liberation to these people is just replacing the people on top now. The poor Southerner doesn't envision an end to capitalism. They envision being the owner, the landowner. It takes more. Yeah, the term is lumpenproll. Yeah, but like it's you have to engage with these people where they are. Vaush says low class people are the enemy. Fucking true. I wonder if like the French were having conversations like this during the French Revolution, like because every time shit like this goes down, the peasantry are in favor of like the king or whatever. This keeps happening over and over. When socialism and like union organizing was propagating in America in the early 20th and late 19th centuries, again, like the very poor rural whites were overwhelmingly like antagonistic towards those developments, in large part because they feared black people and brown people. It was usually city dwelling and at least somewhat educated whites that were more likely to lean towards like emancipatory thought. How about poor city workers? Being in a city just makes you a better person. Like I've said before, your moral worth as a human being, like in an epistemic sense, is determined by your proximity to a Starbucks. If you're not within a mile of a Starbucks, you're not ensouled. It's unfortunate, but So what should we do? Is there any hope of changing these people's minds? I think we need to stop romanticizing rural America, because we patronize the fuck out of them. Again, everything worth everything is made in the cities, everywhere. We need to start acting like it. Stop with this patronizing bullshit where we pretend that like Wyoming and the Dakotas are like epicenters of real America. Real America is New York City and Los Angeles, and to some lesser extent other places too. Real America is where American culture is produced, and American culture hasn't been produced by rural areas in over a century. Okay, the closest we get to it is city dwellers worth millions who pretend to be from rural areas. To push their country music, and that's like that cynical like pop country trash has not reflected either Americana or rural culture in a very, very, very long time. Though most Americans live in cities? Yes. So then we should urbanize? Yes! How can you blame them for having a backwards frame of mind when they live in a backwards social structure. Like, have you seen what rural America looks like? It's not like a German village where you have like a social element to it or whatever. These are paranoid, scared, delusional people. They live in these rotted, backwards, dilapidated towns. They keep shotguns by their door, partly for the coyotes and partly because they fear fucking MS-13s going to knock on their door one of these days. They don't want to go to a Walmart because they're afraid they're going to get sex trafficked out of the fucking parking lot. I'm sorry, man. Like this, it's sick. It's sick. I have never met a person who's had to live in any of these communities who's defended it. It's only been like patronizing ass fucking suburbs outside of Chicago types, you know? Vaush's vivid imagination there. Dog, it's not an imagination. You can't blame me because you don't know how bad it is. It's literally true. It's not an exaggeration. The mind state of these environments is so bad that to describe them, it does sound like you're crazy, but it's like that. You can find people in YouTube and VGG chat who are both like, yeah, I live there. It sucks. I live in northeastern Pennsylvania, and Vaush is right. All these people behind closed doors are monsters. Yeah, these are dens of child abuse and pedophilia, and like religious sexual abuse, cults propagating in backwater towns where nobody looks, so there's no scrutiny. These are fucked up places because they've been left to rot. Like, and they should rot because they're antiquated. Like, there's no room in the modern world for living like this anymore. It shouldn't exist. But for some reason, we idealize it, we romanticize it, we patronize them, we infantilize them. Oh no, you're just socialists in waiting. 2 conversations and you'll move over. Again, I listen, if you want life to improve for these fucking people, you have to have the balls to tell them they're wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. You do them no favors by pretending, like, this is as backwards as going over to Afghanistan and pretending that, like, the backwards tribal, either Taliban or non-Taliban affiliated, like, patriarchal practices are just their way of doing things. Oh, no, they're finding their own way. I'm not engaging in this cultural relativist bullshit, okay? I'm not going to pretend inferior cultures like Appalachia are you know, because they're different people living there, that they need to be respected. I don't believe in this shit, all right? It's worse over there. They have bad ideas. We need to fix them. Vaush is wrong. Won't change no one's mind calling them slurs, saying they should die or move. When the fuck did I say they should? Well, I mean, the fact that, like, you'll die or move has been, like, an objective fact of West Virginia for decades. I'm not really saying that. It's just kind of true. Like, there's a reason why so many young people leave these towns, and the population of these towns have been decreasing time and time again. Because they do move. Because they don't want to live there, because it's awful. But also, yeah, no, you have to stigmatize this stuff. We're coasting off of a century of this patronizing bullshit where we pretend that this is real America. It's not. Listen, if you can't agree with the statement, real America is New York City, you're not an American. New York City is literally the capital city of America culturally. It is the melting pot. It is the epicenter, okay? Los Angeles close second. It's not a matter of whether or not it's good to live there or whether or not it's affordable to live there. I'm talking about culture. A lot of people pretend that American culture is like in the heartland or something. No, the fuck it isn't. And as long as we keep pretending that, like, do people do that elsewise? Wouldn't most people agree Paris is the cultural capital of France? I bet if you go over to, like, French farmers, they're like, no, and then they point to some, like, northeastern province that 5 people live in, and they're like, yeah, see, this is real France. And you have to, like, smack them. I'm not engaging in this delusion here, okay?